My mom, I'm ready. Okay. I'm on yours. Oh, yeah. Hello, everyone. Yeah. Hello, everyone. I just came on a couple minutes early to make sure I don't have no hiccups or anything. So we'll give people until 6 o'clock to join and then I'll start. Okay, could you come help me right quick? Hello, everyone. We getting ready to get started. I wrote a comment up here, but my daughter says she don't see it, so she's going to come over here because I have people that's going to engage on tonight, and I want to make sure that I see all the comments. Thank you. Thank you, cuz I see it. Shalonda on there. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining. I'm going to get right into it, but first, I would like to give honor to my Lord and Savior Christ, who is the head of my life, and because of him, I am. I pray that each and every one of y'all had a good day on this Juneteenth day. So I'm going to get right into it. But before I get into it, those of y'all who didn't see the post or whatever, um, I will be praying when we get off of here. The number is 774-333-8798. Just make sure you mute yourself when you get on. So if you joined me on the last episode, I talked about molestation when I was molested at 11 years old. And today I wanted to talk about the curse of molestation. I had everything jotted down, how I felt and everything. So I called Tanisha McGill, and she said she didn't think that the molestation was a curse. That the person that did it, it was the curse on them, but it transferred over into me, on me, which had me spiraling out of control at a very young age. I told y'all that I was molested at 11, and my emotions, I just couldn't explain what was going on. I couldn't explain anything that was going on with me at all. As an adult, we go through, we have emotions and we can barely deal with them as an adult. But could you imagine what I went through with all the emotions at 11 years old? I went through a whole lot at the age of 11. So she said, and I want her to, she's probably on here, prayerfully she's on here. I want her to elaborate on what she said. I want her to put it in the chat so you can see what she said. So she said, the curse is on the person who did that to me. The defilement station can activate curses in my life, which it did. It had me just sleeping around with any and everybody, just trying to get a feeling. You know, it was no, intimacy or anything. No, no kissing, no hugging, no nothing. I just wanted to get mine, and that was it. And one thing with me sleeping around with so many people that spirits had transferred. So a lot of spirits had transferred. Um, the lust spirit, I dealt with lust. I dealt with lust more than half of my life. I dealt with lust. Um, and that allowed me to just do things at an early age that I had no business doing. I shouldn't even been doing. It didn't even register what I was doing because I was just out there trying to catch a feeling. Hey, beautiful, how are you? I was just out there trying to catch a feeling. Um, and I suffered a lot at a young age. I suffered a lot. Um, PTSD. Um, I suffered with that for a long time. And I believe if it was dealt with when it happened, I believe I wouldn't have went through half of the stuff, majority of the stuff that I went through. I don't believe I would have gone through that if it was caught early. And it was caught early, but it was, I brought it to someone's attention, but it was swept under the rug. So I believe if it was head on, dealt with, I wouldn't have went through everything I went through. But once again, like I said, I don't blame anybody. I believe God allowed me to go through that for this time. Um, just like I said, it happened 42 years ago, but I believe that God is using me for this time, for this generation. Um, Another thing that it introduced me to, hey Reggie, another thing that it introduced me to at a very young age was masturbation at a very young age. Um, just searching for a feeling or whatever, and I remember at my grandmom's house. I didn't know anything about porn or anything. And I remember somebody had left it on the TV. Somebody had left it on the TV and they was masturbating. And I was like, oh. So I was introduced to masturbation at an early age as well. Um, and I think that, really satisfied me until I became engaged with boys. Um, I and what the person did to me, I don't allow other people to do to me sexually. Well, not now because I'm straight now and into marriage or whatever. But I didn't allow. I love you too, Missy. I didn't allow them to do what he did to me. I'm not going to say what he did. Um I'm not going to say what he did to me sexually, but I didn't allow other people to do to me sexually because it took me back there. It reminded me. I had flashbacks and nightmares about, what was done to me. And it really affected me. It affected me growing up, you know, um it affected me and my sexual life. It affected me. It also had me repeating cycles, looking for love in all the wrong places, um, the pattern of being in unhealthy relationships and mental abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse. All of that started literally at the age of 11, and it affected me all the way, up until my adulthood. Um, Another thing it had me doing was I had a strong sexual desire. I was longing and needed sex. I was just, and I wasn't even a teen at this time. I was a preteen. I wasn't even a teen at this time, but I was longing for a desire for sex. Something at 11, I shouldn't have been able to grasp what sex was or anything, but I was, introduced to it at a young age. Um, Thing that led on to I was depressed a lot, anxiety, um, um, and this is another one that I really wanted to touch on was emotional numbness. I was numb. I was numb to a lot of things. I was numb. I was numb to a lot of things, in my life. It's like stuff didn't bother me. I was shut down. I was shut down. Um, and then even it had me. I wasn't in relationship with women that I remember a couple women, saying that they were attracted to me or whatever. And at this time, I'm searching for a feeling, whatever, and I let them do whatever they wanted to do or whatever. But to me, but I guess it wasn't even a phase. It was just something that happened. So I never was attracted to women, you know, um, never was in a relationship with any women or anything like that. Um, and another thing it had fear. I was so fearful. I was always fearful. I was nervous. I used to bite my nails. I used to bite my nails until they bled. As a young child, I used to bite my nails till they bled, like really bled to the point where it was sore to the touch. That's how bad I would bite my nails. I wanted to touch on was transferring the spirits. A lot of people don't know about transferring the spirits, but they are real. Um, I was just telling somebody when my grandmom used to say, um, "You sleeping with him, he's sleeping with her, she's sleeping with him, y'all all sleeping together." And I was just like, "What?" So I'm just like, that don't even make no sense. But as I got older, it makes sense because spirits transfer. And I was dealing with a lot of spirits, a lot of unclean spirits that I was dealing with. Um, Even with using protection and stuff, if you're not married, them spirits still transfer. So if you're not married, them spirits will transfer. And whatever that person dealing with, you gonna deal with it too. Cause I had dealt with it. I know I'm going to talk about my marriage, but that's a little bit down the line. But I dealt with a lot of infidelity in my marriage. And I guess rightfully so because I reaped what I sowed. So that's what the book is about, the big payback. I reaped everything that I had sowed. So rightfully so. Um, but I dealt with um, him cheating and just coming back to me. And it was it wasn't good at all. But I had to remember that I put that out too. So I got everything back that I put out. Um, I'm trying to see somebody said something. I'm sorry. Let's see. Hey Kia. Mm, I wish Tanisha would say something because she the one had me down. Mm, this is what I want to touch on. It's very important if you know anyone um that was molested or anything. I don't care how old they were. I don't care if they're young, middle age, old, they need to really get help. They really need to get help. And I would like for you to reach out to me privately so I can get that person the help that they need because going through life not knowing um not knowing what your body is feeling is just it'll blow your mind. At one time, I just didn't know if I was going or coming. I just didn't know how to explain myself. Um, and that's why I said earlier that I would just shut down. I would just sit down because I didn't know how to articulate, what was going on. I didn't know how to articulate my feelings. Um, I would do stuff just to do it. I would do stuff just to do it, and it really, um, thank God because God He saved me from all of that, and that's why I'm here to tell my story. Another thing that I used to do was isolate myself. I would always just isolate myself. Didn't want to be bothered with nobody. Didn't want to talk to anybody. Um, I didn't never have communication. I always had communication challenges. Communication challenges. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Um, I'm trying to find my pages. I'm sorry. Let me see. Hey, Barbara, how are you? Let me, I have to, I'm sorry, y'all. I have to text someone right quick. So, I'm kind of really stuck. I had all my stuff together. Wait a minute. Yeah. Let me see. Let me